Manuel, good morning, and how are you, faithful? Captain Niner coming to you again with your Captain and Coffee report for January 24th, 2025. It was quite the day for the Niners in general. There's a lot of news coming out from a lot of different things. It came out some in the morning, some in the afternoon. Some of it came out while me and Anshel were doing our 49ers media captains show about 4:30, about 5 o'clock. We started a little bit late. Thank you to those of you who showed up for that show. But yeah, just news was just flying all over during our show. We had to change things up and this and that. So why? Let's get right into it. Actually, so the ever revolving story around Liam Cohen and his whether he's going to be the Jags head coach and what's going on with Robert Saleh. So it looks like Robert Saleh and one other coach, I believe is who it was, their flights were canceled going back to Jacksonville for their interviews because I want to say Saleh was scheduled to fly in this afternoon for Jacksonville to have his interview for Saturday. Well, that flight has been canceled because from the looks of it, Liam Cohen is basically ghosting the the Buccaneers. He went back to Tampa, or he went back to Jacksonville, and for all intents and purposes, they're going to hire him at this point, from what it looks like. And again, I don't know where this story ends. It literally keeps changing almost every time I see it. So what does that mean for Robert Saleh? So as you can see, Robert Saleh is going to be the 49ers head coach unless one of the other teams hire him as their head coach to for that. So basically, we're down to the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Saints for openings for head coaching positions. So unless Robert Saleh decides to take one of those jobs, he will be the 49ers head coach. And from what is being reported, more than likely he's not going to get any of those jobs. I don't think the Saints have had any interest in him per se. I know there was initial interest with the Cowboys, but now they seem to be going back uh, towards Brian Schottenheimer to be their head coach. So who knows what's going on with there? And then the Raiders lately, it almost looks like they're down to Pete Carroll as being their head coach. From what like I said, again, this is things that are just ever evolving. So it doesn't look like Salah's a top choice for any of those. So more than likely, Salah will be back as defensive coordinator for the 49ers. But again, who knows with what everything is going on right now? I'm not even comfortable enough even saying that. I know like a lot of people were trying to say it last night that he is back and this and that. You know what? He very might be. I'm not comfortable actually saying it at this point because there's just so many moving parts in this. We still don't 100% know yet. So also, the 49ers interviewed another candidate for special teams coordinator. Whether or not Bryant Boyer has anything to do with as far as like with the Saleh hiring, I am not 100. I don't think they would be related unless they've got a really good relationship type of thing. But he's another candidate. He was a former linebacker in the NFL, played for a few years, transitioned over to being a coach. Jets have had a middle-ish, lower end special teams for the last since he's been there. Nothing, extraordinary, anything like that. But then again, any improvement out of the special teams, and this team was probably in the playoffs at the very least. That's how bad it was. It was like I think they ranked 22nd this year in the NFL for total overall special teams. You put the Niners at 22nd overall, we probably make the playoffs barely. I mean, that's how our special teams were just beyond abysmal with how bad they were. So again, another name to put in there. Um, I think they already know who their special teams coordinator is going to be. I have a feeling they're waiting for this whole Robert Saleh drama to sort itself out, and we're going to get that announcement for both of them at the same time. That's just a gut feeling. I have no idea if that's true or not, but I have a feeling they already know who it is. They're just kind of, blowing smoke and everything else. And the last news, and probably the news that a lot of us want to hear, and I don't mean this in a personal way, but Nick Sorensen will not be retained in any role by the 49ers. And to me, that's a good thing. I just think the quote unquote stain that he left behind with as bad of a defensive coordinator as he was, it just needs to go. Sometimes, and he could very well be a good coach somewhere else, but sometimes you just need you need to see things from a new perspective. And I think that's what Sorensen needs. I think that's what this team needs. We need to get rid of all that kind of negative stuff and bring in positive stuff, which is why we bring back someone like Saleh. Sorensen as a DC, terrible. I will say that as a as the Balzar position that he had last year, he was good at. But that position is now held by Brandon Staley, and in general, Brandon Staley comes with much better qualifications overall than Nick Sorensen does. So he is not going to be back in any role of the 49ers, not even as a Balzar, ball boy, boombox guy, any of that kind of stuff. He won't be back next season. So as far as that's concerned, as far as right now, I might have something going on tonight, so I'm not sure if we're still going to do a weekend review show. We may or may not do it. We may just come in and do a quick one real quick, which just be a recap for everything tonight at 6 p.m., or we might not do it. Haven't quite figured. Depends on how a few things play out this evening, if I'm going to do some other things. But until then, faithful, Fafita Tel Lava, one love. Enjoy your weekend. Remember, it's Faithful Friday. Rep your team. Bang, bang, Niner Gang.